everyone, this is Betsy Armstrong, aka Captain Vitamin B Sparkles, and I'm here today to give us our weekly tip about intuitive eating and body image. Today we're going to talk about Intraceptive Awareness. Now, what is this? It's actually it's the way that we can perceive the sensations in our body that are trying to communicate something to us so that we change our behavior. Let me give an example because that sounded pretty confusing. So think about when you have to go to the bathroom. Your body gives you a very specific set of perceptions that make you realize, hey, I have to go to the bathroom. That's Interreceptive awareness at work. It can also be described as when you go for a run or you're working out and your heart starts beating really hard and you start breathing heavily. That's Interreceptive awareness telling you to slow down, take some more deep breaths because your body needs oxygen. So, how does Interreceptive awareness relate to food, specifically intuitive eating? Well, I don't know about you, but for most of my life, I have worked really hard to ignore my hunger, to not listen to my body when it's trying to tell me it needs food because I'm on a diet and I'm not supposed to eat. That's not so good because our body needs food. So what that meant for me is that I would get to the point where my stomach was so loud, so empty, that I was ready to gnaw my arm off by the time I finally allowed myself to eat. If I was going to be more interoceptively aware, which is what I try to do now, I actually try to check in with myself about an hour after breakfast, another hour, where I feel like, okay, my stomach's not so full anymore. And as time goes on, instead of waiting for that like screaming gut to let me know I'm hungry, I might notice that I'm starting to get a little distracted or my body is literally getting fatigued. So one of the things you can do to develop your interoceptive awareness is do these check-ins just every so often after you eat so that you can start to feel the subtle signs of hunger. That's one thing. The other thing you can do to just even gauge how good you are at interoceptive awareness and then also to develop it as you go is to start counting your pulse. Now, there's two ways to do this. The first are two steps. The first one is to set a timer, maybe just 20 seconds. It doesn't have to be a whole minute. And then count your pulses by putting your finger on a pulse point, either your neck or your wrist. Just count your pulses and write that number down. Then reset your timer. Keep your hands either, like on the counter or table or even on your thighs, but not on a pulse point. And for those 20 seconds, see if you can internally perceive the beating of your heart. What you'll notice is that you get two numbers. One is that you actually counted and one that you sort of guessed at. And as you begin to develop your interoceptive awareness, those numbers will become closer. So it's really a subtle thing, but it's actually a superpower because our bodies are so wise. They can tell us all kinds of things. They can tell us when we're hungry. They can tell us when we're full. They can tell us when we need to breathe and when we need to go to the bathroom. And all we have to do is learn to listen. So I hope that you can develop your interoceptive awareness and use it for the power of good. Thanks. I'll see you on the dance floor.